So welcome to another procedure-based programming section, and today we are going to be talking about switch statement in JavaScript. This is tutorial 7. We've covered tutorial 1 to 6, and they're actually related. But if you miss out anyone, I recommend you go back to go through this this one. Although you can also follow this tutorial 7 without having to go back, but I recommend you take them step by step. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and also leave a comment for me if you have any challenges. I'm going to help you personally to overcome whatever programming challenges you have. Previously, we discussed conditional statement, where we discussed about if statement. Today, we are going to be looking at switch statement. So, for instance, if you have conditional statement that says, again, I'm going to create program 7 because we are writing one program file for each of the tutorials. So let's borrow from program 6. So I'm going to take out this, so let's just take this, copy. I'm going to create a new file. So, so I'm going to save this as JavaScript file. So it's actually prog 7. That is what this is. Alright, so we save it as hypertext markup language. Good. So now assume that we have, let's say, script /script type equals text /JavaScript. Alright, so this is how it goes. So now we're missing out something, I think so. So let's put this closing quotes. So inside the script we can now write. So let's say document.write. I say welcome to switch. Let's just make sure we set up everything correctly. Alright, so put semicolon. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go to the directory, and then let's view it and make sure everything is working fine. So we are talking about tutorial 7. So open, and you can see it displays welcome to switch. But now I'm going to make this. I'm going to add a new line to this place. Okay. This is not going to be okay. Let me add this new line here. So this actually adds a new line to the page. So let's just verify that it works. So I'm going to open. Yes, so it adds a new line, and fine. So we can actually add more than one new line. So I'm going to copy this so that we have. Okay, so fine. So at this point, we actually shifted down this last statement all the way down. So this is what we want to achieve. Alright, so let's get back to switch statement. Now we are talking about if you have an if statement. For instance, you can have if, let's say a is equal to 10, and you can say if a is equal to 1, and then do something. Let's say a is equal to 1, then you do something in there. Let me just say do something. Then you can say else if a is equal to 2, and you can also say again do something in there. So basically you can have several if else if statement nested, several of them, 10, 20. But the more you add if else if statements, the more you have inefficient code, because you can't continue adding if else if statements continuously. And that is why we have the switch statement. The switch statement solves this problem. So how does the switch statement work? The switch statement has a switch statement containing an expression. So this expression is followed by several case statements. Each of these statements has a code to execute. So when the switch statement starts executing, it checks the switch expression and try to match it with any of the case statements. So once it finds a matching case statement, it will execute that particular case statement. Now this is an explanation. Let's do it practically to see exactly how it works. Now the explanation is also given here, so if you miss out something, try to read it. There's a break statement. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But now let's try to take this script here and then so that we can run it. Right. So copy and then let's just replace. Let's see. Alright, so let's replace this script here. Control V. Okay. Okay, I'm going to shift this backward so that we can see everything. So hopefully you can see everything clearly. So maybe I'll reduce the font, reduce the size. So here we are saying variable grade is equal to B, blah blah blah. Now I want you to take note of the switch statement, how it works. We have switch grade. So once it starts, it's going to check the value of grade. If the grade is A, it's going to execute this statement. So sometimes it can be written in a new line. It's okay. So, or maybe I'll leave it this way for now. If it's B, it's going to execute this line. After executing it, it's going to break. So this guarantees that two case statements can never be executed. It has to only execute just one of the case statements where there is a match. If you omit the break statement, then it's going to execute true. It's going to execute the first one and jump to the next one. That is not what you want. What we want is that it executes only one where there is a match. So now we have the grade to B, and the output is going to be this statement that corresponds to B, which is very good. So if I run it, save it, and just go back to view the file. So let's go back to view it, program 7, and you can see that it says very good. Very good because this is the statement that is executed. Now let me just also write this in a readable way. So sometimes it's written like this, such that the case statement, that is the statement to be executed, is in a second line. I think I recommend writing it this way so that you have this statement to be executed in a second line. So once it's A, it's going to execute this one and it's going to break. So again, like this, and so on. So you can figure it out yourself. So that is how the switch statement works. So it actually executes only once. Now, if the grade is not A, B, or C, now it checks A, it checks B, checks C, D, and F, right? What if we have something that is not there? Let's say Z or whatever. Let's say V. V is not in any of the case statements. What it is going to now do, it is going to execute the default statement. Now I'm going to put back, let's leave the V in there and try to execute and see what we have. So if I refresh this page, you can see it says invalid grade. So once there is no matching case statement, it's going to go down to execute the default, and the default here is invalid grade. So this is basically how the switch statement works. I would recommend you take some time to try it out yourself, change up things, and see what result you are going to get. What is going to happen when we don't use the break statement? I've explained it, but let's just demonstrate, because I've written a piece of code where we don't have the break statement there. So let me use this piece of code where we don't have the break statement. Let's see exactly what it is going to give us as output. So in this case, I'm having a switch statement without a break statement. So let's replace the script, Control V. So you can see no break statement. I'm going to save, and if we go back here and we refresh the page, it displays everything. And this does not make sense because we have only one grade. A one grade like B cannot be very good, good, fair, fail, and invalid grade at the same time. So that is why we do need the break statement. So switch statement is very important. Try to take some time to go through it very well. Leave a comment if you have challenges. And this switch statement also applies to other programming languages like Java or C++. I'd like to thank you for viewing, and we see you in the next lesson.